Hello everybody and welcome to the first match of the Spalding Waratah League Senior Finals weekend. I'm excited. The person alongside me is even more excited. Jacinta Govine, my name is Kean Kramer. We can't wait to bring you the action between Hornsby Spiders and the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles in the Youth Women Division 1 competition. Jacinta, just talk me through it because there are a number of talented players. I want to get your opinion first and foremost. Talk me through it.
Definitely. Manly's coming into this with a 17-1 record, only losing that one game towards the end of the season. I believe Antonia Henderson's definitely going to be one to watch in this finals time. She's been really consistent all season. Pretty sure she managed to nab the MVP honours this year. Hornsby, you can't count them out though either. They're probably missing a couple of players. I noticed that Serena Waters is out with injury, but they've still got a lot of young talent that can carry this team today, particularly the McDonald sisters. They would be looking to step up in today's final. Well,
Manly came first, as you said, losing one game. Hornsby came fourth, losing 7 matches. So at the end of the day, you've got to look at this match and think, well, is it going to be easy for Manly? And all signs are pointing towards the yes margin. But again, we'll just look through the lineups quickly. We've got a minute and a half to go before the start of the match. And let's go through, I'll just go through the Hornsby lineup and then you can take us through the Manly lineup. So for Hornsby, number 4, Isabel Docker. Number 5, Erica Pittman. Number 6, Serena Waters, who is not playing due to injury, as Jacinta was telling me before the match. So we'll get into that a little bit later. 7, Zoe Mans. 8, Tyler Mundine. 9, Amy Laws. 10, Madeline Suprain. 11, Bronte Cork. 12, Jessica San Cataldo, who we're actually not sure if she is playing today. So we'll get to that soon. 14, Mackenzie Penn. 15, Matilda McDonald. 20, Diana Calavites. 21, Ruby McDonald, coached by Alicia Poto. Assistant coach Jenny Dean and Melinda Poto. Jacinta, just back to Jessica San Cataldo. She doesn't play. That's a big loss for them. Committed to Northwestern in 2017. She's 6'1" and represented New South Wales in the 2017 Under-20s National Championships. Without her, that is a big loss.
Massive loss. I totally agree. She's a excellent athlete. She's very athletic, got that left-handed drive, under control, and they're definitely going to miss her dynamic that she brings to their team and their height and her experience too. She's actually been playing championship for a couple of years as well, so definitely a big loss for Hornsby today. They've got their work cut out for them.
They do. It's going to be a hard match for Hornsby, but let's see how they go. Sometimes when you have to fight through adversity, it actually ends up going towards your favour. So we'll see how that goes. A bit more pressure on Manly. And Jacinta, if you want to take us through the Manly team.
Sure. Number 4, we've got Sally Ferguson. Number 5 is Izzy Carpenter. Number 6 is Rachel Duncan. Number 7 is Tony Tate. Number 8, we've got Lauren Walker. Number 9 is Caitlin Castle. Number 10 is listed as Anna O'Donnell. Number 11 is Emily Crimmer. Number 12, we've got Danielle Shepherd. Number 14 is Josie Bullman. 15, Bianca Blades. Number 20 is Olivia Mills. And number 25 is Faith Bolgan. Antonia Henderson not listed on that team list, but no doubt she'll be taking the court today.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. We'll keep an eye out because we just have to look at the numbers and find out who is and who is not playing against Serena Waters' big loss, All-Star 5. She was the guard, and for good reason. I mean, you were speaking to me a bit about her before the match, and just the way she's able to put her on the floor, score some points. She's simply incredible, isn't she?
Yeah, she's quite a dynamic player too for such a young player. She's still in her last age of she's only top age 18s as well. She's only 17. She's probably been playing for Hornsby the last couple of years as well, so she's had some time with their champ women's team and has obviously gained a lot of experience from playing with the likes of Sarah Graham and Alicia Poto. But she can take it hard on the drive, she can nail a 3. She's definitely someone we need to keep an eye on because she's developed so much in a short period of time, so she's only going to get better from here.
Well, Serena's the same as Tyler Mundine, who also played in the championship women's side, and Alicia Poto's done a great job with that team. You'll see Hornsby later on this afternoon in their semi-final. They'll be looking forward to that game as we're almost underway here at Hills Basketball Stadium. We've got 10-minute quarters, as we normally do, and we've got half-time. We've got everything lined up for you guys. This morning, a long day ahead, 12 hours. So it's never ending for us. Jacinta's got probably half a day or a few games under her belt, which would be great.
I do. I'm backing up for the champ women's this afternoon.
Fantastic. That's what we like to see is Matilda McDonald's in the jump with Faith Bolgan. And her brother, I believe, Abe, had a fantastic game last week. Single-handedly won the game against the Sydney Comets to get them into the final series. You'll see them this afternoon as well as Erica Pittman with the basketball. Early stages, some good movement by the Spiders. This game will go all the way to the bitter end as a great start from Madeline Su-ring. Brilliant offensive play, and they're off and away 3-0 to the Hornsby Spiders.
Yeah, that's a great confident play to start off the game. I mean, this is a do-or-die situation, and you can't afford to hesitate at all.
No, it was a brilliant block underneath the basket by Matilda McDonald, and Hornsby is up for this occasion. And you've got to love this team. I mean, Hornsby, they're in green. This facility they're at the moment is predominantly all green. So Hills and Hornsby, you could get confused for the most part.
You've got to take this like as a home court advantage, don't you?
Well, exactly right. As McDonald goes down low, another shot. Back-to-back threes, just missed by Su-ring, but they're going to her early, and it's not a bad option.
Not a bad option. Both on target. Both great looks at the basket.
As under the basket, brilliant cut and a lovely finish by the number 24 for Manly, who is unfortunately not listed, but we'll try and get a name soon. But it was a very easy play, wasn't it?
Very easy. I think Hornsby may have fallen asleep there under the basket a little bit. They need to tighten up that communication.
To the corner to McDonald, goes to work under the basket. Skip pass over the top, three-pointer from the left. Ooh. Elbow, and nothing but a three.
Hornsby are really
from
rotating
Bronte
the ball. Very nice.
They are, aren't they? And what's the secret to that? Because it's just looking too easy for them at the moment.
Oh, it's all about in the half court. You've got to get the ball through sets of hands. Like we're encouraged, get the ball inside. If it's not on, kick it out again. Anything that's going to make the defense move more often, then you've got to attack to find the holes after a couple of ball rotations. It's motion offense for a reason. You've got to keep the ball in movement. You've got to keep moving. You've got to make sure you find that defense on their back foot.
Well, there's some great touches from Manly as well into the basket. They're getting really open. Hornsby's pressing a little bit too high at the moment. Great drive by Pittman. Finds McDonald, who'll drive herself. Left-hand layup, can't convert. Rebound herself. Straight underneath it is Madeline Su-ring again. Su-ring has just been on fire to start the first quarter, and she's been looking really good.
They came to play today. It was a great offensive rebound by Matilda McDonald as well. She's needs to keep that up.
She's been great, as have Manly, but turnovers seem to be costing them at the moment, even though that ball is to Manly. Just careless hands. And it's understandable. Finals weekend, first game. You get some jitters into you. Let's see if they can reverse that.
Considering they're already on the back foot with a 6-point deficit, Manly are looking like they're starting to panic a little bit, but it's early days, so as long as they keep their composure, they'll be okay.
They should be. Manly's a good side, as we said. They came first, so the pressure is on them at the end of the day, as a corner shot just misses for Faith Bolgen. As Su-ring will look to take it herself. She's strong. Loses the handle. And the reversible is Mundine. Goes for the long triple. Misses and goes short, but nice clean up by Pittman, who is sensational as well. She averaged double figures this season for Hornsby. So got another option, number of options if they want it. McDonald misses from the corner. Su-ring cleans it up. These offensive rebounds are killing Manly. And they're up for this. There's a big three by Cork. Strays, and it goes out of bounds. Manly ball. So Hornsby, again, their offensive rebounds are just absolutely killing Manly, and fatigue will set in quite quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Manly have to get a handle on those offensive rebounds early, because it's going to be those second, third chance efforts that are going to keep Manly in this Hornsby in this game.
You would think so. As around the screen, Manly go. Sprays it. Nice offensive rebound. They can't convert to McDonald underneath it. A great take by Lauren Walker. And they need more of that, because those high pick and rolls are doing wonders for the Sea Eagles at the moment.
Manly have really got to get a stop here.
Cork takes it hard, just misses the layup.
That was a great look to the basket. She's just got to elevate and finish. If she's going to do the hard work, she's got to finish that off for herself. Strong
move. Su-ring underneath it. She's working hard. They've been up for this one, Hornsby. The whole week training would just be up-tempo, fast-paced. That's what you want. I mean, when it comes to peaking at the right time, you'd say at the moment, Hornsby have done a really good job throughout the week.
Yeah, I agree. And like we said before, Hornsby look like their chips are down with some of their star players out, but you'll find in these underdog situations, this is when all the magic happens.
That's right. There's a foul. 2 shots coming up, and it has been fantastic. Manly just seem to find a way, and in particular, this spectacular player, So we've got our first substitution of the game. Out comes Matilda McDonald. In comes number 21, Ruben McDonald. So there's a bit of a sister act going on.
That's right, yeah.
And you did mention that they're two phenomenal sisters. Quite tall, rangy, got a big wingspan, which is exactly what you want.
Both very athletic as well. And their dad's actually Dean McDonald, who used to play NBL for the Illawarra Hawks. And I believe their mum used to play at a high level as well.
So a bit of trivia for you. That's why we brought Jacinta in, because she is full of knowledge. Brilliant play by Pittman. She'll go to the line as well, the charity stripe.
I'm really looking forward to watching Pittman develop as well. She can be quite effective in that point guard role. That was a great look on transition. Very smart.
She's got good vision before, and you see her a lot of championship games for Hornsby. She's interested. She loves the game, and she's passionate about it. She wants to learn off some of the best, and that's why they brought Poto into the club. Many years in the WNBL, phenomenal player. Loves a good three-pointer, and she makes probably that 80% of them, which is simply sensational.
Oh, and the way she watches the ball, like her vision on defense, like how quick her hands are to get a steal. That's just natural ability. That's experience. You can't teach experience. It's really nice to watch. Not the best to play against, but
she wouldn't be easy.
No.
As Caitlin Castle comes on, goes herself, goes hard, but loses the ball. And again, when you substitute, things can happen. You're not quite warmed up, as you should be.
I think that was just, finals jitters. That was a great look. That was definitely open, but it was just that finals jitters, maybe a bit too much pressure on herself to put the ball in, but that will ease off as the game continues.
Yeah, it's early stages. Got a long way to go in this game, and we've loved what we've seen so far. And there's many more games to come, which is sensational. As a big three from McDonald, launches it up off the backboard and out from the top of the three-point line. And it's been hard for them as a brilliant spot-up three-pointer. We love that from Manly. The bench goes up.
That was a beautiful, confident three-pointer in transition. That's exactly what Manly need to try and get the momentum back in this quarter.
They need more of that. It's only line 6. So there is a lot more basketball in this first quarter. It's fast-paced.
Smart play by Pittman there. She's already swung the momentum back to Hornsby by drawing that foul.
And it's a serious game changer, isn't it? If you've got the capability to do that, you want to do it throughout the whole match.
That's right, I agree. And then Manly, I think, have had most of the offensive possession this quarter so far. And drawing fouls, that's how you're going to keep it.
That's right. There's a few more substitutions on the court as Faith Bolgen comes off. She's been great. It's 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Pittman to Mundine. They're moving the ball well. Sue Prain for another three off the front of the rim and out. And Hornsby get the ball back. So back-to-back fouls for Manly, and that is a bit of a coach killer.
It is. Again, what we were saying before about making sure you have that most of the offensive possession in the quarter back into Hornsby. They got another chance to score here, bring the momentum back to their favour.
When you get the ball in this lady's hand, magic can happen as Pittman goes herself. Unfortunately, the finger roll misses. Ball's on the floor. They come up with it again, Hornsby. So Mundine will pull up a three.
Oh,
this is
McDonald.
Another rebound, McDonald, as you just said.
Great hustle.
It doesn't get much better than that as Sue Prain finishes off the backboard and in. And Hornsby, again, these offensive rebounds have just been outstanding. They haven't stopped working for each other.
That's what finals time is. Everything's going to come down to hustle plays. How many times can you box out in every possession? How many offensive rebounds can you get? That's what it's going to come down to. And Sue Prain has 7 of the 11 points for Hornsby, so she's having a killer quarter.
Which is impressive because if you look at the size of her compared to who's marking her in Danielle Shepherd, it's really a no-brainer. They always say go to the big bodies inside, and that's what they're trying to do. And if she can play on the outside as well, which she's capable of doing, we've seen that. The sky's the limit for her in this game at the moment.
Yeah, you're going to be a real threat if you can work it inside and out.
As Pittman kicks it off to Mundine, great vision. Mundine will miss it. Underneath goes McDonald and a foul. And again, Hornsby is at the moment the better side, and Manly is really struggling.
Credit to Ruby McDonald. What a super sub. She's come on and gotten 3 offensive rebounds. If she hasn't given Hornsby a chance for a second chance on the points there, she's going to the line.
That's right. And we've got a timeout. 4 minutes to go. 11 points to 6 in favour of Hornsby. And we're just going to go to a sponsors announcement.
Yeah, so the Metropolitan Junior League is proudly supported by the Sydney Kings. And all of the official apparel supplier for Basketball New South Wales is CSM. So you can see, I'm sure you can see the sponsor there on the referees' uniform this year. I do like how the referees are wearing pink this year.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, I walked into the Basketball New South Wales HQ, and compared to last year, I mean, the apparel was just spectacular. I mean, the different colours, it's great, and I think it's a big part of the game to promote pink, because at the end of the day, I mean, that's really the stereotype for women in sport, isn't it, really? You know, it shouldn't be, but that's just the way it is, and I think a lot of people look at that and they think, you know, they're doing what's great for women in sport, and I like that. Look at the NRL, women in league round, they try to wear pink where they can, and I think it's fantastic. And I love the colour pink myself, so it's more of a bonus.
Nothing wrong with a bit of pink, hey?
No, definitely not. And as Hornsby go to the line, we're back into it, back into the swing of things. As McDonald makes the first. And the turnout so far, I mean, it's early stages, early in the day. It's only 9:13, and the grandstand's pretty much a quarter full. We've got games in the main court. We've got games on court 3 as well. We've got games on the far courts where we are. And this facility here is Cork gets the ball, steals it, but it goes out of bounds. And we've got teams warming up. We've got Shoalhaven on the other court playing Hornsby Spiders as well. And it's jam-packed action. I mean, Shoalhaven had to drive 2 hours to get here, which is it's a bit of an effort, but, you know, you assume if they win, they'll stay here the night around the Hills area.
Especially when you've got an early game.
That's right, yes.
I can see members of the Sydney Kings coaching staff watching this Youth League women's semi-final as well, which is always encouraging.
That's exactly right. Always like to see their talent. Sue Prain will inbound to Pittman. It's been a great matchup to watch. Pittman and, of course, Caitlin Castle. Jam-packed action as McDonald inside, which seems like the most viable option. Left-handed hook shot misses. But we like that creativity.
Manly switched to a 2-3 zone out of that timeout, so it'll be interesting to see how Hornsby will have to adjust on offense. And Hornsby is sticking to a man-to-man here.
You know, it's quite bizarre because it hasn't really worked for them at the moment. They're sticking to the same option. You think at some point it should work out.
Manly getting some good looks at the basket. They've had a lot of shots inside. They're just not dropping. I think it's still that finals nerves that they've just got to kind of get out of the system before the quarter's ended.
And there's a long way to go, but if anything, it wakes you up because you think it's going to be easy beats. Of course, Manly lost 1 game all year. Hornsby lost 7, which is quite bizarre because you wouldn't think that a Hornsby team that's playing today would have lost 7 games all year.
You're right. It's a very tight competition. I mean, there were lots of teams probably maybe ahead of Hornsby on the ladder, but you've just got to win the games at the right time to make the finals.
That's right. Zizzy Carpenter takes it herself, finger roll layup, and won. So it's a good start from her, and we haven't seen much of her this quarter. And if she can get her hands on the basketball more often than not, you'd think that magic would happen. As you see a substitution now, as Faith Bolgen comes back on the court. She's the only other player in this Manly side to average in double figures. So she's been a bit quiet, and they need more of her.
Unfortunate she couldn't convert that three-point play there.
It's back to Hornsby. The Spiders are full of magic.
The Manly are back into a man.
They haven't stopped that. And you'd think they needed to reassess that option because they have struggled at the moment. A Suprain from the corner, misses it. Great box out by Calm, but underneath goes McDonald. Hard basketball, and that's what we like to see. And Carpenter and McDonald, that should be a fair matchup because they're both around the same height.
Great matchup. Same height, I would say roughly the same level of skill, but that just came down to hustle.
It did, didn't it? We've lost the scoreboard, so we're going to try and work out what's happened there.
Might have to be a bench timeout.
I'd say so. So we're just going to stop it for a second and just find out what's going on with the scoreboard.
Manly taking advantage of the stoppage in the game to huddle up. Probably a good time to reassess what they need to do in the next offensive play.
It seems about right as we've got a coach's timeout to fix that scoreboard. It wasn't that long ago I was actually here at this stadium, and it was a few weeks ago actually, and the scoreboard just stopped. And we had about a 25-minute break. I think it was actually Hills versus Hornsby. It was about a 25-minute break. The game literally had 3 minutes to go before the end of it, and then all the players were getting cold on the sideline trying to work out what's going on. Sometimes you have those issues. I think there's some problems with electricity sometimes, and that just seems to be the case. But Just recap some of the stats. I mean, from what you've seen so far, can you give us a bit of insight into what sort of players have done what this game so far?
I think Ruby McDonald, after that last hustle play, is up to about 4 offensive rebounds. So that's massive in a quarter. If you want to average 4 rebounds in a quarter, I mean, you're on track for 12, and that's only her offensive rebounds. I'm not sure what she's got on defense just yet, but we've got number 10 from Hornsby. She's still sitting on 7 points. Their number 11 is Bronte. She's Bronte Corp. She's racked up 3 points. And Isabel Docker's got 2. And for Manly, it's the unlisted number 24. I'm going to take a stab and say that's probably Antonia Henderson who's wearing 24. Yeah, she's got 5 of Manly's points at the moment.
And it's been quite easy because, you know, at the end of the day, it's about putting the work in and you gain rewards off it. And that's what she's been doing because she's been under the basket each time. And every single time she's got the rebound. And she's been under that, and she's working hard for her points, and that's what you need in finals basketball.
That's right. It's all just going to come down to those 1%ers. The hustle plays, finishing under the basket. This is what you train all season for. It's just this moment, and it can all end. Your season can end in one game, or, you know, have you got that little bit extra to go one step further and make the grand final?
Well, you talk about a lot of the time, professional teams or any sporting teams talk about, you know, you take one game at a time, so to speak. But beginning of the season, you've got to think about, okay, well, do we have the potential and the capabilities of getting to the finals and maybe taking it one step further and making the grand final? And, you know, I look at both of these sides, and they're stacked with talent. So you'd think that this is sort of where they would have aimed.
You're right. I totally
forward.
agree, yeah. I guess every team at the start of the season has that, you know, the point of the season is to get the championship. But you're right, when you take it one game at a time, you sometimes have to reassess your team goals a little bit to see what's realistic, and every game's going to be different depending on matchups and circumstance. Your team might have a few injuries. The other team, for example, Hornsby today, looked like they have a few injuries. So Manly's game plan may have been a little bit different, and obviously Hornsby would have had to change their game plan a bit, you know, taking that one game at a time. But finals time, it's all or nothing, I think.
Yeah, it is, especially in this youth league competition, which is just, it's tough. You know, it's tough from beginning to end. And in the other semi-final, we've got Hills versus Norths. So, and that's second versus third.
Oh, yeah, that is going to be quite a tight matchup. That Hills team is... I watched them a couple of weeks ago when they played down at Terrigal against our Central Coast Crusaders Youth League women, and I was really impressed with that Hills team. For me, seeing teams like this Hornsby and Manly team today, and the likes of the Norths and Hills in the other semi-final, I think what's exciting for me is that they're going to come and play champ women. So that's going to keep increasing the quality of female basketball, you know, semi-professional basketball in New South Wales. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Well, it's going to be an absolute cracker, and it's tough with basketball in this state because, you know, a lot of associations don't necessarily have the money to fund imports, maybe like the QBL or the Big V competition, Siebel for that matter. So for what they've actually got, it's quite impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, if you can get an import, that's great, especially if your team needs a point guard or needs a centre, you know, following the same way a professional team in the WNBL, NBL would kind of scout for an import. But the idea of keeping your local talent at your club is to keep your club going, to keep your local talent supported. So, yeah, it's great signs for girls basketball. That's what I'm most excited about.
It is. So we've got the action back underway. Again, McDonald to the free throw line. Just to recap what happened before, she did get fouled. We're just going to suss out what's going on at the moment because...
Fouled on the offensive rebound. I wasn't aware that Manly have already racked up 5 fouls in this quarter, so they're over the foul limit.
So going to the line now, McDonald, and that was the issue before because McDonald wasn't actually going up for that foul. If I can recollect what happened, and then we had Danielle Shepherd, I believe. Sorry, Izzy Carpenter who fouled her, but again, it wasn't to the line. They weren't shooting any shots. But in saying that, they had to go to the line because they're in foul trouble already. It's easy to get back, but it's such a nitty-gritty game, isn't it? And 6 points is very doable, but at this rate, it's not a very high-scoring game.
No, it isn't. I think, a lot of shots have been taken. It's just a matter of converting the easy ones. Again, seeing Manly there with a nice shot at the elbow, but you just got to make those open shots. You
do, and that's the biggest problem, isn't it? I mean, Carpenter's found some really good looks, just about converting them, and she has struggled, but her defence has been pretty good on McDonald, and they're doubling down low, and it seems to be paying off as Pittman takes it herself, finishes it. Oh, no, she doesn't. In and out, found herself in the middle of the key, and that was the right option.
It's really important for Manly to lock down some stops on the defensive end, being 6 down.
Carpenter takes it hard, and she'll get fouled from McDonald. I think that's a second or third foul.
Oh, let's hope not. She's been working really hard for Hornsby this quarter. It'd be a shame if she got in foul trouble early.
She has, and just imagine 14 points out. If they had Jessica Sancatato as well on the side, I mean, it could be even worse for Manly at the moment.
Oh, Hornsby's running game would be unstoppable.
It would be, but Manly, they're great offensively. They have been all year. That's the reason they've only lost one game all season. Defensively, they've worked hard as well. Hornsby's well up for this game. A great bit of work by both players.
Yeah, great team defense there from Hornsby, forcing that tough shot.
And it's worked an absolute treat. Corner ball underneath the basket. Goes Castle. She was stuck. Had to get it out of traffic. 6 seconds on the shot clock. They did well to get under the basket. But Josie Ballman's layup couldn't be converted into 2 points. So
they'll start dropping. They'll start dropping.
Well, that's what happens usually throughout the match, doesn't it? It's the early stages that's hard. You sort of try to figure each other out as oppositions. See where you're going to get the most looks. And Manly's still in this game. Don't take anything away from them at the moment.
No, definitely a lot. We've still got the whole 3 quarters to go. Anything can happen. But once Manly probably maybe just need to relax a little bit and start getting into their groove a little bit, then we'll have a game on our hands.
Well, it's amazing how free-flowing this game is. There are a lot of shots. Defensively, both teams are pretty sound. But it's just never-ending shooting, as a shot will drop for Tyler Mundine, a 3-point play. And let me tell you, in the championship, the women's competition, she hits a lot of 3-pointers. So that's just one of a potential 30 this game. Who knows?
She made that 3-pointer look so easy. Like, she does that every day. That was a great shot.
It was such a quick release at the end of the day. And that's what we see. With 2 seconds left on the shot clock, will Pittman launch it? Oh, it's a foul. So Castle, it's a bit of a coach killer, that one. A foul. They go to the line with 2 seconds to go.
Oh, credit to Pittman for playing all the way to the end of the half. I mean, she could have easily dribbled the ball out of court with the clock running down. She played to the very end of that quarter and drew a foul. Probably not the smartest decision on Manly's part, but let's see if Pittman can knock these down.
It's not. It's Pittman misses the first. She is frustrated. She slams the ball. She's not happy. So we've got one more to go.
There we go.
Nothing but net. Sinks the second. 18 points to 8. Hornsby Spiders are leading Manly. And just, how do you change things up? Because we look at the scoreline, as I said, 18 points to 8. 10 points down, but things just aren't working for Manly at the moment offensively.
Yeah, I think in that quarter, towards the end of the quarter, I think offensive possession was fairly even between the two teams. I think it just comes down to second effort plays. A lot of the scoring options for Hornsby came off second efforts, offensive rebounds, getting after scraps. Manly just need to start to show some urgency, lock down some stops, and they need to start running. They need to run this Hornsby team down. Hornsby have only got, they've still got 9 on the bench, so they've still got a lot of leg, but it's just about stops and running, I think, for Manly.
Yeah, and let's recap some of the leading point scorers of this game, which Jacinth has kindly done everything for us. She's written all the scorers down, all the action, as we've got 1 minute and 16 to go before the start of the second quarter.
Well, Hornsby is quite spread. They've already got 5 scorers up on the board with their number 10, Suprain, is leading still with 7 points because she hit some some 3-pointers early in the quarter. We've got Ruby McDonald is on 3. Pittman just scoring that one there at the end there. And we've got Tyler Mundine on 3. We just saw her nail that 3-pointer. We've also got Bronte Cork on 3 as well. For Manly, we've still got Antonia Henderson on 5. And we've got Izzy Carpenter on the 2. So it's a high-scoring affair for Hornsby. 18 points in a quarter is not too bad at all. And then keeping the top team to 8 points in a quarter, that's pretty impressive. It is. We've got Abe Bolgen on the sideline cheering for his team. In fact, last week when I was at their game against the Comets, the Manly fans get right behind their championship men's team. It was unbelievable. I was sitting right there in the heart of it. Don't be surprised if this gentleman, right directly across from me and us, obviously, will be making some noise. They stamp their feet. They get right behind them. It's fantastic to see. Even they've got a finger. So
I mean, if we talk about merchandise, I know it's not basketball related, but it's still the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles rugby league side. They shouldn't be too happy about their football team at the moment, mind you, because they're struggling big time. I'm a Bunnies fan, so I'm pretty happy about that.
See, I'm way too basketball. All I
talking about is basketball.
Basketball, no other sport.
That's it. That's what we're here for. Start of the second quarter is underway here with Erica Pittman and the basketball in hand. They move the ball early. Bronte Cork takes it hard. Brilliant pass to McDonald, and that was a sensational opening to the second quarter.
They have come to play today, Hornsby. That was a great look under the basket. They're really working off each other a lot better, I think, compared to the Manly team. Manly need to start getting into spots for each other. Just flowing off each other a little bit better. They're a little bit stagnant at the moment.
And how easy has it been? Because, I mean, that play just then, for a team that's lost one game, just to move the ball, go to the weak side, and it was one simple rip all the way to the basket. And you look at the situation for Rade Raden, and disappointment's probably an understatement. I mean, it's almost gut-wrenching, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd be feeling the heat a little bit if I was him. I'm sure he's got confidence in his team that they can get back this 11-point deficit, being the number one team. But they've definitely got their work cut out for them. And to be honest, if you want a championship, this is what it takes.
It does. You've got to work hard for it.
That's right.
And don't get me wrong, Manly will find themselves well in the game soon. And I think as Basketball New South Wales will show in this Waratah League, the Spalding Waratah League, in fact, there have been so many upsets, so many tight results. You've got to work hard to the bitter end, and it's such a high standard of basketball.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think what I've enjoyed coming back to the Waratah League this year is that all of the comps across the board is so tight. It's very competitive. Even playing in the Championship Women Division, I don't think our record as the Crusaders can really reflect how competitive we were, but it was just so tight all season. I think that's what really made it more enjoyable.
And you did play for the Central Coast Crusaders this year. The return
of
the mighty Central Coast Crusaders as McDonald goes to work, finished it nicely, soft touch. And just on the Crusaders, the other night, Sydney Kings came to play in the Central Coast. Packed grandstand. You were telling me before you actually had to put another grandstand there because you couldn't keep up with everyone that bought tickets. And that's just sensational. And that's just how big of a basketball heartland it is.
Yeah, we're very lucky that we've got a lot of new people on our board at our club, and they've been making some fantastic changes for our club. They're giving us a real facelift. They're working really hard with our local council and our local MP named Adam Crouch. He is the biggest Central Coast Crusaders fan. He's done a lot for our club in a short period of time, and this is the revolution for us, and I'm so glad to be part of the club at this time because this is when we're going to grow. It's our growing period.
That's what we like to see.
It's the return of the Crusade.
As back-to-back baskets, as soon as Shepherd scores a nice lap transition offense, in comes Tyler Mundine, and she finishes a jumper from the right elbow. And again, just when Manly score, Hornsby get back into it. And that's been the story of this match, really.
Yeah, it's very smart play from Hornsby. They don't waste any time kind of dwelling on the last play. They get straight back and focus on the next play. I think that's what I like about Hornsby as a club. They're very focused culture in their club.
They are, and it's not far from here. It's about a 20-minute drive for them, so it's almost like it's a local spot for them, local hangout, so to speak.
Yeah, they're probably used to playing here quite a bit, even as juniors, I imagine.
Yeah, and you'd have to wonder. I mean, these girls, they make the final. Do they go to Castle Towers, celebrate with a hot choc? Who knows? It is cold. Winter's day. They might do that. It's only around the corner. 5-minute drive from here. So we'll see how that goes. 13-point deficit at the moment. As Cork goes to around the corner. Bullet pass with the left hand. Off to Mundine. Sprays just wide. Underneath they go. Manly, 2 substitutions at the moment. They're going for 1.
Again, that's great offense from Hornsby. They baseline drive, kick it weak side. That extra pass made a huge difference for Tyler Mundine to get the open look. That was the shot. Very smart play from Hornsby.
And it's been outstanding to watch because Bronte Cork hasn't had enough credit from either of us this game because she's finding herself. It's not even that she's open, but she's creating really well for herself or facilitating, dishing off to another player.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of players like that don't get enough credit. I mean, if they're not getting on the stats, they're the ones that are creating the scoring opportunities for other people. There's not always going to be a stat for how many times you beat your person baseline, how many hands you're going to get to a loose ball, and they're the things that really make a big difference in a game. So she's full credit to Bronte. She's having a great game.
She's been impressive, and we'll just go to a quick sponsors update.
So we can't forget that the official Spalding Waratah League is, of course, sponsored by Spalding, which is the new official ball partner for Basketball New South Wales, which is a change from the old sponsorship. With the special branding, Spalding basketballs, I believe you can get with the nice Waratah foiling.
They've been great. I've actually got a size 6 at home, which I was using to give to players when they won the Spalding Waratah League, or present them with a basketball. Let me say, it was very smooth.
And I've been loving the switch, to be honest, because the Spaldings are a lot lighter, so it means I can make some more threes compared to what I used to be able to.
Got to give yourself some credit.
A little
You're
bit.
a good shooter.
Oh.
Regardless, heavy or not.
3-pointers have never been my strong point. That's
right. When I play with my girlfriend at the park sometimes, and she's a sharp shooter herself. Size 7 or size 6, just still knock them down. So I got to challenge her again with that Sporting basketball. Haven't done that one yet.
We'll tell her that Crusaders trials start in November.
Let her know. An hour and a half drive, but it'll be all right.
Oh, we'll make it work.
You should do that. As McDonald goes herself, she'll go to work. She goes hard, left-handed shot, and a foul for Manly. The McDonald girls are so hard to contain, and Josie Bowman got her hand in the way, and she'll go to the line for 2 free throws. And they are just so hard to stop, and they haven't quite worked out, Manly, how on earth they're going to contain the McDonald sisters.
Oh, I love how aggressive Ruby is being this game. I'm really, really impressed with the way she's been getting on the rack to be a scorer. And if she's not doing that, she's grabbing a lot of boards.
Which is what you want from one of your tallest players in the team. Big minutes for her, and when you can rotate 2 of them, it's no easy feat, because it's not as easy as saying, okay, well, I'm going to rotate my second biggest player on this Manly team, and you've got to be able to work with 2 girls who are about 6'8".
There's a lot of talent on the court at the moment for Hornsby, but it'd be interesting to see how the McDonald sisters play together. We might be able to see that.
I think a bit of a Nostradamus. You're working your magic early, and this is what we're talking about. We get experts in this on every call that we're doing today. We have an expert. Jacinta is that type of person. Drove in early, got here, knows her basketball back to front.
Oh, unfortunately, my wish didn't come true this time, as Matilda's coming on for Ruby, but Ruby's coming off with 2 fouls. But hopefully we'll see that at the end of the game to see how well the sisters work together.
The early rotations. We might see that if it starts to become a little bit closer. And half-time at the moment couldn't come sooner for Manly. As we find Olivia Mills made a free throw. Maybe this is the start of a comeback for the Sea Eagles.
This is a perfect time for Manly to lock down a stop and get a transition basket if they want to regain the momentum for this game.
It's as simple as a high-low play as Mundine gets inside the key to Suprain. Fadeaway jump up, misses that, goes wide, and here comes Manly on the transition.
Good call there, settling down the play. If you don't have a transition basket straight away, it's always good to settle it down and start your half-court offense.
Great take inside. Underneath it goes Shepherd. She loses the ball straight to Hornsby, but they're getting themselves in good positions, and that's the hardest part for Manly as a whole.
Yeah, that was really unlucky. That was a great look. Really looking for each other in the right spots. But they've managed to cause a turnover here, so they'll have another chance to run a really good half-court offensive set.
And sometimes you can be caught in that rut of just trying to do things a little bit too fast, think ahead of your actual action.
Yeah.
And it's hard to change that up, especially when you've got so much pressure on yourselves to win, because they are the favourites at the end of the day.
Yeah, I completely agree. You can't afford to rush in your half-court. I think that's a big difference between when you go from a youth league player and you step up and be a championship player. It's just about getting smarter. Everyone, when you get to championship, everyone is just as fast as you, just as athletic, just as skilled, but it's about who can outsmart each other. And if you can start to develop that in youth league, you're going to be in good stead for championship. But you're right, Manly's just got to slow down, take a deep breath, execute their offense.
And there's a lot more of that. I mean, Manly last year made the final and actually won it, the women's championship, which was huge for them. They had a number of talented players in that squad. David Todd, of course, coached them. And you had a number of players.
You had Belinda Snell, an Olympian.
Exactly right, and she was outstanding. And it was funny watching her throughout the year. It was almost like she was just cruising through it. Rack up 20 points, I might shoot 3 threes, get it in, facilitate, all the rest. And that was amazing.
It was like
to watch.
her Tuesday night domestic conference championship.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
It's so natural.
Yeah, and by all reports, she did a great job with the Flames Siebel team as well as their coach. She did a fantastic job with them. All the girls seemed to like playing under her, so that was great.
Oh, I love how champion women's basketballers are now passing on their knowledge to the next female generation. I really, really appreciate it when people take time to do that.
And that's what we're after, isn't it? It's a growing sport. We see that in Australia. Of course, the NBL just signed a deal with Channel 9.
Yeah.
So 2 free-to-air games a week, which is just marvellous considering how far it's come.
Oh, yeah, it's time for people to stand up and take notice of basketball because Australia is such a competitive nation on the international scale. It's like, give us a little bit of credit.
Exactly right. When you've got 11 players in the NBA at the moment, why not, right? Mitch Creek, the latest. Jonah Bolden, of course, to sign with Philly as well, so that's great. Ben Simmons, loving life in Melbourne at the moment. There's actually an amazing mural as we take a time out at the moment. 2411 Hornsby. We'll get to a sponsorship break in a second. But Ben Simmons in Melbourne, saw on Instagram this morning, put up a story. Hosier Lane. Do you know where that is in Melbourne? It's graffiti central on the walls.
Yeah, right.
And there's a Ben Simmons plaque up there. Someone's painted this amazing mural of Ben. Unbelievable. It was great to see.
Wow, that's awesome. You really made it when you've got a mural.
Oh, you have, especially in Hosier Lane.
But we can't forget about the handful of women who are still in the WNBA too. We've still got like Leilani Mitchell.
Right.
Not too sure if Jenna O'Hay's there, but we've got Becca Allen. She's been there for a couple of years. Kayla Francis, Cam Beige has gone back. Erin Phillips is now a coach. It's great that we're getting a lot of men in the NBA, but there's been a lot of women in the WNBA for a little while.
There has, exactly right. Need to get more traction. That's what we like to see. So we've gone back to the action. As Supreme will inbound the basketball. The Manly fans are getting up and about. They're hungry for success. These Manly boys, there's about 4 or 5 of them playing later this afternoon. They're on a high. Bronte Cork takes it to the rack. Misses it. Here comes a transition play.
That was unlucky there from Bronte. Great D. Great finish from...
Straight away they'll go to the offensive end to the hot hand.
That's the way Manly's got to play. Get on that front foot. Be aggressive. Be a scorer.
And I like this matchup as well because we've got Mundine and who we think is Henderson as well. Antonia Henderson. If anyone knows who it is, please feel free to let us know. Is Cork will travel. The Manly fans stood up and applaud. They are vocal. And they're like that every single week. Here comes Manly. I can feel it.
Manly. This is it. This is the turning point. They've just got to stay calm on this offensive set. Make sure they execute. If they can get a score, the momentum will be back with them.
It's taken them 16 minutes, but we can feel it from the corner. Goes short off the front of the rim.
Ooh, that was unlucky. That was a great extra pass for that open shot.
It was.
Now, Hornsby has got their time on their side with this 11-point lead. They don't need a rush.
No, they don't. They play simple basketball, and this is the thing. What's working for them, they've just got to keep at it.
That's right. You go to the well until the well runs dry.
Oh, that was beautiful, wasn't it? A soft touch with the left hand. Pittman just going to work off that screen. Easy as you like.
This is a great matchup here.
Strong take.
Who I'm going to guess is Henderson at 24, who's not listed, against Mundine.
Yeah, we don't actually have it here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the FIBA Live stats up. I'll let you know. If it is Henderson, we should get our lotto tickets now. We'll try to work out who it is.
Another great stop from Manly, making Hornsby rush into that three-point shot. So now they've just got to turn the tempo down a little bit and execute again.
Well, they've hit a lot of threes to begin the first quarter, but they've been slightly off in this second quarter. So you wonder whether or not Manly's just trying to let them take those threes, give them a bit of a breather defensively.
Yeah, look, I had a lot of coaches growing up who, would play a team that would hit a lot of threes, and they say you live and die by the three-pointer. You're not going to make them all game. And if you do, then, credit to them, but it's not something that a team's going to make all game. That's
right, unless we go back to the excellent Olympian that we were talking about before, Belinda Snell. In that case, I don't know what you do. You just got to let her do her thing, I think, at the end of the day. Super and misses from the corner. Open shot. It's one of the most open. It's probably easily the most open she's been in this match.
Yeah.
From the top of the three, and Henderson, well, she is stepping up, the MVP of 2018.
And again,
triple, and
that was it from down the stop and running. Stop and running. That's what Manly need to do. Lock down the stops and keep going on transition.
Which is just unbelievable. As Pittman again finds herself inside. They're going to work early. Foul to Manly.
Oh, number 10 on Hornsby. That was the foul on Supreme.
Supreme. And I think
transition.
we have got a timeout to the Comets. And we'll go to a sponsorship break shortly. 26 points to 18. Hornsby over Manly. And they are well in the hunt.
But we were talking about the NBA before, but the first step before the NBA is college. So if you're interested in attending a US college, you might like to learn more about what's involved in being recruited to play basketball in the US. So you can talk to Custom College Recruitment, Basketball New South Wales' official college recruitment partner. So you can visit their website at customcollegerecruiting.com to learn more.
And it's such a big part, isn't it, to basketball these days? I mean, the market there is just humongous.
Oh, and, you know, when I was growing up and college was an option, you know, I only knew of the NCAA college and then, you know, Div 1 and 2, and I thought that was probably it. No wonder it's so competitive to get a scholarship. And then there's the NAIA comp, and then you've got your junior colleges, and then you can go to a junior college and you can transfer to a Div 1 college. So your options are endless if that's where you want to take your basketball. And, you know, with a growing market in finding college scholarships for Australian players, the world's really your oyster. So it sounds like that custom college recruitment would be a good place to start.
It seems right. And I can't suggest that enough. And guess what? The lady wearing number 24, guess who it is?
Has
you
to be
caught
Henderson.
it. It is Henderson.
That's lucky.
Nothing but fantastic prowess. And you can tell because from the start of this game, she was just dominant defensively. She was strong. She was getting rebounds. She is hard to contain. There's going to be more of her, I can assure you that. So get ready to watch the 2018 MVP as a three gets launched. The Rainbow three-point play by Emily Kremer, knocks down a three-pointer. And 26 points to 20. I think there's 5 at the moment. It's working wonders for Coach Arden.
That's the way to do it, Manly. Manly's got to get more than Henderson up on the scoring board. Henderson with another drive.
You know, sometimes you look at it and you think, she's just so strong and powerful. Maybe she puts too much on her shots, but, you know, if she's open each time for those layups, why not, right?
Something I have noticed with a lot of younger players, I also coach under 18 women's at Gossip City Rebels. I always encourage them to elevate when they finish their shots. They need to elevate up towards the basket rather than using their speed to go forward. And like I was saying before, that's just one of those little things that you've got to, you know, tweak in your game, play a little bit smarter if you want to continue to get up to champ women.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Henderson. She's got a heavily strapped, what looks to be right knee at the moment. So she's got some padding on there, but it doesn't seem to be bothering her game at all at the moment. As Cork gets the ball, fighting for it, she goes herself, loses it, scrapping on the hardwood, and it goes straight away back to Hornsby.
Great steal, great hustle all the way to the end of the court. That's the kind of urgency you want to see at finals time.
You want to see urgency, you want to see commitment. And you know what? You haven't done your job if no one was fighting for that basketball.
You're right. So we've got 42 seconds left here in the second quarter. Hornsby is still up by 6. This is a 2-for-1 situation for Hornsby, meaning that in that 42-second time frame, they've got enough time to have 2 offensive possessions to give up 1 to Manly. So
look, at the end of the day, I don't know if that was the smartest foul, but it sort of slows them down a little bit, any momentum. Pittman will go to the line to make it an 8-point game at the moment.
Probably not ideal for Manly, considering Hornsby had that 2-for-1 situation. You really need to continue to lock down stops.
It's going to be hard, going to be committed, and again, it comes down to discipline at the end of the day. And I think that's the first thing you tell your juniors, don't you, growing up. You teach them defensive stances, you teach them everything else.
That's exactly right. It's always up to the individual player how much they're going to apply that discipline, and as a coach, it's just continuing to encourage it. You really just got to play the players who are going to do the job that you want them to do, you know?
As Cork gets in the passing lane, she has been everywhere defensively. She'll try to go coast to coast. Underneath goes McDonald, another foul. Ooh. So that looks like it's 5 to Manly, so anything further, straight to the line.
That's a great read by Cork now to grab that steal. fighting around the post, using her athleticism rather than her strength and forcing a foul. And Hornsby on the transition. Playing all the way to the end. That's what you want to see.
And they're going hard. And I think at the early stages, you got to look at the fact that Henderson, when she does get the basketball, she's going hard and she's not going to stop until she finishes. And in women's basketball, I think if you've got the capability to do that, it's good to see. She is off at the moment. She needs a bit of a breather. She's worked really hard this game. She's been their shining light. If I had to give anyone 3 MVP points for one team, it would have to be Henderson at the moment.
Oh, I agree. And that's what she's been doing all season to earn the MVP honours.
That's right. It's the last shot of the game. You'd think 5 seconds to go. What can Hornsby do? They might just have to toss it up. Cork will go for 3. Knew it as well. Her face said it all. Half-time, 30 points to 20. Hornsby lead Manly. And it's been good to watch. Hornsby would feel pretty confident going into the second half. Start of the third quarter not far away. We've got 10 minutes to go. And as we wrap it up, I just want to know a few things about the game at the moment because, I just don't see Manly at this stage. I think more so now than the start of the game, getting back into it. I think anything's possible. I think Hornsby just have to be a bit still stay composed, and we might see a Hornsby Spiders victory.
Yeah, that's all. I really think that's one of the key things. You're totally right. They just need to stay composed. I think they came out. They were probably had the finals jitters, and like you were talking about before, maybe putting a little bit too much pressure on themselves, having the MVP in their team, having that 17-1 record. They just need to relax, go back to do what was working for them, which was their high intensity on defense, running the floor. I mean, Henderson had like 3-4 transition baskets in a row, and it's didn't complete all of them, but I mean, they were good looks. They're the looks that you want to get back in this game. But we also said before the game started how Hornsby's chips were down. They were missing some of their known talented players. It was time for others to step up. Ruby McDonald, she must be on like 6 rebounds and she's on 8 points in a half. She's having a hell of a game.
Yeah, she's been really good. So we'll just take a break at halftime. 30 points to 20. Hornsby lead Manly, and we'll come back with some of the match stats. We'll welcome you in and take you through all the action of the second half. Welcome back, everyone. Minute and 26 seconds to go before the start of the second half, and it is no surprise we talk about one player in particular, but the Hornsby Spiders may cause an upset. They're leading 30 points to 20 over the Sea Eagles. I just want to talk about that one player you just brought up before in the break, Antonia Henderson, who was the unknown number 24, but it shouldn't be because she was a 2018 MVP. She is carrying this Manly side back to earth, seeing if she can lead them to victory. But this Hornsby Spiders team, they've been quite strong, haven't they?
Oh, the thing with Hornsby is that they've, like we said, we've said a couple of times, they're probably down on some of their more known players, but their scoring is across the board. Everyone's been a scoring threat, which, when you've got a team of that depth, it's going to be a lot harder to beat them if anyone can score. But yeah, full credit to Henderson. She's scored 12 of the 20 points for Manly so far. So, like a real leader and like a real MVP, she's going down fighting.
She's done well. And for Hornsby, who in particular stood out for you?
Oh, I would have to say, again, Ruben McDonald. She's really been impressive this game, both ends of the court. Solid defence. I think she's picked up a couple of fouls, but that's pretty safe with one half to go. If she can keep up on the offensive glass, Hornsby are going to look pretty good this half, I think. Yeah,
she will indeed, and I agree. Hornsby is a team that is a force to be reckoned with. They're going with their strongest five for good reason. You've got Suprain, you've got Tyler Mundine, you've got Cork, McDonald, Pittman, so forth. I mean, the list just goes on, even on their bench. And you can rotate the McDonald sisters like Alicia Potter has been doing. It's dangerous. Manly, they haven't had a lot of luck off their bench, have they? I mean, it's really just been Henderson keeping them in the hunt and a few plays bouncing off her, but there's been no one in particular that's really taken it full throttle. I mean, Danielle Shepherd's hustling really well. She's been quite good in that facility. But Manly start off strong. That's what they needed.
That was exactly what they needed, and I was hoping that they'd come out in this first half and start to be a little bit more aggressive on the scoring end. I'd actually like to see a bit more from Suprain and Tyler Mundine this half.
Spiven can't quite make the floater with her left hand, as Faith Bolgen seems to want to do it all herself. Pull-up jumper. Can she convert that into 4 points in a row? No, she can't.
Look, not a bad look on transition. If people aren't going to play defence and you got the ball, go for it.
Well, why not? Yeah, I mean, that's not what Potter would want coming into the third quarter. I mean, at halftime, the talk would always be about keep up what you're doing, go hard, go strong. As the ball goes out, as Karen Dalton's here as well. She's heavily involved with the Sydney Flames. She's here watching on to see some of her Sparks girls. Well, I think Serena Waters is the only one, but she's currently injured.
I think used to be a bit of a relationship between the Sparks program and the Flames Academy with the Hornsby club too, so she probably still uses Hornsby as a bit of a melting pot for some of the local talent.
Well, you think so? With Sarah Graham's in the grandstand, she just signed a one-year deal, didn't she, with the Sydney Flames? Oh, she's back in town.
I'm so glad she's back in the WNBL. Like, she's a great player to watch.
She is. She's fantastic.
Very smart.
Smart player. Has a really good shot on her as well. As Shepherd, the lady that I mentioned previously, she has been strong.
This might be her half. It's time for her to step up for Manly.
Well, you'd think so. Some of the finest young talent going around in this women's competition. The Youth League women. Sensational. From the top of the ladder to the bottom of the ladder, all these teams can play. As Suprain, low corner, just a soft, sneaky touch. Puts in for two.
That was a great look. She was in the right spot for Bronte there. But again, Bronte getting the scorers open, creating something off the drive. She's a silent killer this game, I think.
Yeah, she is. She's a talent that's not really unknown to most, but she's been quite good. Bronte Cork. As Mundine sussing out her options, who will she find? Skips it to left elbow. Pittman going to work. Brings it under. Oh, why not? Great way to create for yourself. Goes to the line for two.
Yeah, nice step through there from Pittman. She's great on the dribble penetration. It's a bit of an unfortunate turnover for Manly down there.
It is, yeah.
It's good for Hornsby to try and convert. It's finals time. Look, I'm going to be ruthless and say you've got to punish mistakes. It's finals time.
You do, but when you can go to work like that, I mean, it's always such a good option, isn't it? At the end of the day, if you've got a person in your team who can put the ball behind the back, put it to the floor, attack it hard, gets to the line for two, it's always tough to contain.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree. And look, free throws win games, so you can't really afford to be putting the other team on the line either, especially when you're still down by 9.
That's right. Shepherd gets herself into the key, pulls it up, chases her own shot. tries to follow it up, and that's the first thing you get taught in junior basketball. Follow your shots. You might get another opportunity.
That's right. It's a basic that you got to keep throughout your whole career. I really admired her tenacity there on the rebound.
It's good to watch. Bronte Cork from the corner. Will she make it rain? No, she won't. The ball goes out of bounds. And it's a Manly ball. But look, it was the correct shot. It was a good look at the end of the day. Antonia Henderson hasn't done much with the basketball, but I'll just call it now. Be wary, Hornsby. Be very wary.
But her matchup against Tyler Mundine, I reckon, next 5 years, they're going to be two of the top in the champ women's comp.
We'd have to think they'd go close. They're getting stuck in. They've been competitive. They've been fighting for it all morning.
Both very talented players. Pretty fair matchup, I'd say, in terms of ability and in terms physically and intellectually.
Then we've got a lovely inbound plays. Faith Bolgen faded away. Who's underneath that? None other than Antonia Henderson, MVP extraordinaire. But it's a Hornsby ball, but I like what I just saw then off that inbound. That
was a great execution on the inbound play, but for Bolgen, she's just got to go up strong with that. You can't be complacent just because it's an open 2-footer. You've got to finish it all the way to the end until you see that ball fly through the hoop.
We've got a substitution in early. Matilda McDonald on for her sister Ruby McDonald. She doesn't seem too happy about that decision made by the referee. But they're doing their best. They've been actually really good this morning, and we see that all year. They've been consistent. They've been fantastic. Credit to the referees and give up their weekends to do some amazing work in this league.
Oh, that is exactly right. And to be fair, without the referees and our statisticians and our bench officials, we wouldn't have games. So
no, we wouldn't. That's right. I want to be here calling right now.
The unsung heroes are the officials of our league, I think.
That's right. And they've had a bit to do this morning. We've had problems with the scoreboard, we've had issues sometimes with the bench. We've had a number of problems, but they've kept it consistent. They've done a great job. Corner 3. Air ball, unfortunately, from Lauren Walker. But, with the ball in her hand, anything is possible because she really does like going to work. Full throttle with her.
The only way you're going to score is to put up shots, so...
Oh, Cork distributing brilliantly to Sue Prain. Lovely finish. And again, Bronte Cork. Great work from her going weak side baseline. Love it.
She is finding all the gaps this game. That drive was awesome. Step through, Euro step. Sue Prain at the top of the key.
As Henderson will launch it. Underneath it goes Bolgen, cleaning up all the mistakes. She's loving what she's seeing here. At the Hills Basketball Stadium, as Henderson straight to the rack. Goes hard with a silky, soft finish. First points of this quarter, and it's set to continue.
That goes back to what we were saying earlier about Manly just needing to slow down, take a breath, and execute. Perfect example there, Henderson.
That's exactly right. Lovely bounce pass again. Missed jumper from the block. But this transition offense is looking good for Manly.
Oh, Henderson on the right-hand side in the trans. That's what you need to be looking at every time you get a stop. But again, Manly, you've got to follow up on that pass. You've got to go hard. You've got to go in like you're going for a dunk.
You do. That's exactly right. Corner 3 from Supran was hitting them early, and she'll hit it again. Swish me, please.
I did say I'd like to see a bit more from her now this half, and she's definitely delivered so far.
She's done a fine job at it too. And you know what, when you get people contributing like her, who started off strong, people started slowly getting into the game offensively, but you can get her filling it up at times. It really helps the cause, doesn't it?
That's right. She's been very consistent so far. So I wouldn't be leaving her open if I was Manly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As Cork takes it straight to Henderson, and they really need her to be in foul trouble because without Henderson, this Manly team's really going to struggle.
She's still racked up 14 of the current 26 points for Manly, so...
Yeah, it does make a big difference. We've got a few substitutions. Faith Bolden's off. And number 8, Lauren Walker, who I've been really impressed with. You've got a few point guards at the moment. Caitlin Castle, Lauren Walker, 2 guards who are really doing a good job with the ball in hand. Very few errors, keeping it consistent.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed with the way that they're reading the tempo of the game for Manly, knowing when to run and knowing when to slow down and execute in the half court.
That's exactly right. As Pittman launches it, she had Supran in the corner, who wasn't a bad option either. Ball over the place. Who's there underneath the basketball? Of course, it's Danielle Shepherd, who's cleaned up almost everything this game.
great hustle play. She could have let that go out of bounds and gave up, but she didn't. Manly managed to get a shot out of her hustle play.
And it's really splendid to see. The girls putting their body on the lines, working hard for the victory. Left-handed shot, not so good. As Hornsby
really
get the
get
basketball. 5 seconds to go. Pittman will just have to take it herself. Will throw it up. Just misses. And she'll go to the line for 2. And the Spiders have been pretty content right now.
They do. With a 12-point lead. They can afford to probably milk the clock a little bit too. Time's on their side. 12-point lead, like a 12-point deficit is not an easy task for Manly at the moment.
No, it's not. And look, you'd think, as we said before, I mean, when you lose one game all season, things have to go right for you. And, you know, they haven't had a lot of injuries. Henderson does look like her right knee is in a little bit of pain. Not sure what the case is, but this is probably one of the toughest games they've played all year against an opposition who, without Jess Sancatado, is just, it's mind-boggling, isn't it? I mean, it just shows how good Norths and Hills have also been this season.
Yeah,
because what we've seen from Hornsby so far, it's just a team that doesn't deserve to be in 4th place.
Oh, it's just an underdog situation too, like you said, without Jess and without Serena. They're taking advantage of it.
They are. It's a lovely take by Castle. Nice cut straight to the basket. Found beautifully. Simple layup. I mean, that's probably the biggest lapse in defense we've seen.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, it was simple. You just got to sometimes you just got to keep it simple, I think. Girls basketball can sometimes get too bogged down in running certain plays, running certain, offenses and defenses. And you just got to keep it simple. And that's always going to be your backbone for any good team. That's
exactly right. Oh, who's underneath that? Henderson missed layup. Well done with the cleanup. McDonald's underneath that, but again, a couple of open shots for Manly, and you could just see a bit of tiredness creeping in for Hornsby.
Yeah, I think you're right. Fatigue would definitely be setting in. Unfortunately, that's the 4th foul for Antonia Henderson, so she's had to be subbed off here.
Which is a big loss, so you don't know whether or not, at the end of the day, it's hard for Coach Radin. I mean, you're down by 11. You really need the MVP of this league on the court, but you have no other choice. When you're down 3, you take that risk, don't you, as a coach? See if you can make it to 4.
But, Manly have a deep team. It's time for someone else to kind of step up as well. You can't expect Antonia to do everything on her own, so it's time for the team to band together and get the job done.
Well, when you bang shot a corner 3 like Pittman just did, she shook her head, disbelief. That helps Hornsby's cause even more, 42-28, but it could be a blessing in disguise, because at the end of the day, if Manly can get themselves back into this game, Henderson's on the bench, you're fighting through adversity, as we mentioned before the game, and this could be the case for Manly. It could really help them.
Yeah, well, it's a matter. They have a choice now. Are they going to persevere, or are they going to let Hornsby do what they like, really?
Well, this is the thing. If you keep Danielle Shepherd on the court, who is really flying under the radar in terms of what she's given to this game and the capacity to keep going, and that's what we're finding at the moment from Shepherd, because everywhere, that's where she is. You'll find her.
Yeah, one of those unsung heroes we're talking about, like Bronte Cork. You would look on a stat sheet and think, probably didn't do too much, but she's been getting all of her scorers open. She's been drawing fouls. She's been sucking in that defense to make it easy for her team to get open shots.
That's exactly right. Well done. Great hustle by Matilda McDonald. Hard work. That's almost the model of basketball New South Wales. Hard work you'll achieve. As Mundine travels, and again, you've got to hand it to Mundine, because even though Henderson has put on a lot of points, I think if it wasn't for her, Henderson could be on far more. Defensively, she's been quite sound today. I
agree. Yeah, Mundine is a solid defender. She's very tough to come up against even in championship. Yeah, very confident, very consistent and solid player.
Yeah, she plays hard basketball. 2 minutes 50 to go in the third quarter. 42-28. Manly needs some baskets, but who's it going to come from? Will it be Caitlin Castle? No, it won't. But it was a great bit of work there.
Yeah, that was unlucky. That was a nice look.
Straight to Supra, and she'll go herself, and that's a foul. And frustration setting in for Manly. Faith Bolgen isn't happy with the call. But they're on 5 fouls, so I believe we're going to the line once again.
But at this stage of the game, it's just not worth the risk to put your hands in. I know a lot of refs are always quite consistent with the hands fouls, but yeah, considering that was you were on 14 fouls, now you're 5th, and you know you're down by 14. It's just not worth the risk to put your hands in and put such a sharp shooter at the free throw line.
It's a tough ask, isn't it? And it's really hard. And again, I think that just comes down to, you know, you really want it, and when you're down and you're struggling, that's the hardest part, isn't it? Because
You're right.
you've got to get back into it somewhere, and you feel as though if you just put your hands up, even though that in the back of your mind you know that's the right option, you just feel like maybe if I can get a steal or get a deflection in there, it could really help our cause. But again, as soon as you're in foul trouble, Faith Bolgen's aggressive. She goes hard. She's making up for a mistake. 2 points. They're back into it. The Sea Eagles, 13 points down. Just when will we see Henderson back? I don't think it'll be the third quarter.
No, I don't think she'll be coming back this quarter at all, but that was a great play by Manly, going really aggressive to the basket. We just need a few more looks inside, I think, for Manly like that. They might change the game a little bit.
I look to my right. Sarah Graham's nodding her head. She's happy with what she's seeing.
It's great to see the senior players coming in early to support the junior team as well.
And that's what we like to see as the Manly bench steps up, as Emily Krimmer hits a big-time 3. That's her after, almost hand in the passing lane. Sue Prain straight to Mundine. Oh, and it hurts them. That hurts them a lot. Hornsby.
She just dashed any hopes of Manly coming back.
They're steady. They are steady. It's going to be a big fourth quarter, I can tell you that much. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a big fourth quarter coming up here at Hills Basketball Association. Castle straight into Pittman. Offensive foul straight away. And the way she just planted her feet there, Pittman, she knew what was coming. Again, just the smarts of these young, talented players we're seeing on show once again.
Really smart. Another unsung hero of this game has been Pittman, but I've got to give credit to Castle. That was an awesome drive. She found the gap and used some fancy footwork. She just couldn't convert.
And that's not the first time she's done it either. This third quarter has really been all about her and the way she's been able to put the ball on the floor, find the openings in the defence. She's been great.
Yeah, looking at her, she looks really focused to get this job done and get the win today.
She does, and someone needs to step up. And she's doing just fine, as Emily Krimmer will take it herself. She'll go hard on Sue Prain, misses the layup, underneath it, rebounds effective. But she did a great job there to get to the rack.
Yeah, they're getting really good looks, Manly. They've just got to back themselves and put the ball in.
That's been the issue for them really all game, because at times you feel like they've chosen the right option.
Yeah, I agree. It's just their shots aren't dropping, and when that's the case, you're getting good looks, but your shots aren't dropping. It makes you put a lot more pressure on yourself in the defensive end to make sure that then Hornsby aren't scoring.
And that's where it's really hard. And sometimes your head drops when you aren't making baskets. But at the end of the day, if you know they are the right shots, you just got to keep looking for them and just hope that they will drop, because you don't want to have any bad thoughts at the end of the game thinking what could have been.
That's right. Yeah, you want to finish the game with no regrets, and you're totally right. They are taking the right shots. They've just got to start dropping for them. I mean, there's still a lot of time to go left in this game. Anything can still happen.
But what do you change, though, if you were the Manly coach? Because then they aren't playing terribly. In fact, at times they're actually playing better than Hornsby, but maybe Hornsby's just made more shots.
I mean, I think in this quarter particularly, Manly have been maybe a little bit more individual focused on the offensive end. We've seen a lot of good drives, but that's all been created from one person. I'd just like to see them work off each other a little bit more. Whether it be rotating the ball a bit more, looking inside a bit more, and sucking in that defense and popping it out for the open looks.
Last shot here for Manly. Pittman versus Castle. Who will come up on top? That's what we're going to see as a screen gets set by Izzy Carpenter. I think Castle just wants it. Step back 3. That will be huge for them. They miss it as Mundine cleans up the rebound. Straight to the line for 2. And that is just not what you're after from this shot.
See, in that situation, Castle was right to use the clock to her advantage. She probably shot a little bit too early, as we can see now that Hornsby's drawn a foul. But the other thing is, both teams are in foul trouble. Considering Castle has been on the rack all quarter, you need to take that to the basket and draw a foul.
You do indeed. See if Mundine can clean up her act. She missed 2 free throws not long ago. Pittman helped her out and cleaned it up. Put 2 points on the board for Hornsby. See if she can get at least one in.
Every point counts, that's it.
That's huge for them. They'll press up now, Hornsby. Castle with the basketball. She'll just launch it from halfway. Three-quarter time, 48-33 to the Hornsby Spiders over Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. An upset maybe on the cards. That's what we're seeing at the moment. And the leading point scorers for Manly is Antonia Henderson, who we mentioned before. She's been off for at least 6 minutes of that third quarter, which is costing them a little bit.
Yeah, being on 4 fouls, and she had to come off quite early in that third quarter. And being a winter sport that basketball is, I do worry that she's probably going to get a bit too cold having to sit off that long. But yeah, she's on 14 points still. She's leading all scorers actually for the whole game. But 14 points of the 33, that's a big chunk out of Manly's total score. And we've still got Sue Prain from Hornsby who's leading their scores, and she's got 14 as well, actually. So 14 for Sue Prain and 14 for Henderson in this game with 1 quarter to go.
And what about the way Sue Prain's finding those shots for herself? Because it started off in the first quarter the same fashion as it began the third quarter. So the way she's getting those looks is really impressive, and that's just thanks to on behalf of her team, because it is really good to see.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, she came out firing. I think a lot of the stuff was one-on-one in the first half that she was scoring. But as the game's developed, you've got people like Bronte Cork and Pittman who have been really good getting to the rack and finding their open shooters, your Mundines and your Suprains, and that's really smart basketball. That's really hard basketball to stop when you've got the whole team involved in contributing like that. It can be easy to shut down one star player in a team, but you know, if you've got depth and multiple scorers in a team, that's when you've got your task cut out for you.
It's a different ball game, and you know, the McDonald sisters maybe haven't scored a lot of points this game for Hornsby, but it's on the defensive end that has been the most impressive for this Hornsby side, and they can thank them for a lot of what's happened throughout this game. As we're almost underway for the fourth quarter of action. It's do or die now for Manly. It's do or die now for Hornsby. Can the Spiders keep this up, or will Manly get back into this game? We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, it's going to be an exciting quarter. They say the game's won and lost in the last 5 minutes, so get ready for crunch time.
As McDonald, well, serious face. She's obviously happy about the result, but she's very focused. She'll go to the line for 2.
I'm really impressed with how aggressive she's been that game, and she's drawn a 3rd foul on Bolgan as well, so smart play so early in the 4th quarter.
And this is the issue as well, because Faith's probably on 3 or 4 fouls. Probably your biggest option inside. And if the McDonald sisters keep taking it to her, you don't want to see her in foul trouble. And Henderson's already on 4. So when you've got your forward and your centre in foul trouble, your 2 most dominant players, that's an issue that you're going to face. As Henderson takes it hard, goes coast to coast, she misses it. Who's underneath it?
It's interesting that she started the 4th quarter on 4 fouls, because 10 minutes is a long time to be on 4 fouls.
It is very risky. So Coach Radin is playing with fire, but I suppose what do? Do you leave her off a bit longer? If Castle can hit that 3, maybe she'll come off. Underneath to McDonald again. Well, if she keeps doing that, the Spiders, they may see themselves in the grand final tomorrow against either Norths or Hills.
Yeah.
So I don't know who they'd prefer to play, because it's pretty much even Stevens. 2nd and 3rd, Henderson trailing straight to Faith Bolgen from the corner. She can't hit it. Underneath goes Mundine. Straight away to Suprain. She will look for her right and left. And they'll just settle it down for Pittman. So, again, Hornsby, I think they're just going to wind down the clock as much as they can.
Oh, why not? I mean, you've got, 15-point lead. Time is definitely on your side. There is no point in rushing.
Yeah, not at all. There's a careless foul by Josie Bullman on Mundine. Reaching in, and Mundine, she's going to be happy about this break because she's working very hard.
That could have been a vital stop for Manly, because there was only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. So, yeah, unfortunate there for Manly picking up the foul. But now Hornsby can punish them and making them play defense for another 14 seconds.
Which is tiring in the schemes of things. It's really tough in this sort of game. As Cork with the Euro step going around the defender, and Cork has just been unbelievable for this Spider side.
Oh, she might be one of my new favourite players after that move. That was great.
She's got a fangirl sitting right here.
I have to keep my eye on
Come
her.
get a photo afterwards.
Yeah.
Bronte Cork.
I wear a number 10 Hornsby singlet. Nah, never.
You wouldn't do that to Central Coast, would you?
No way. I'm too loyal to the Crusaders for that.
Bolden straight away to Castle. Oh, the layup can't fall. And again, they've had about 10 layups. They just haven't been able to hit. And sometimes you just have those games at the end of the day.
Yeah, but hopefully you won those games in your rounds, not in the semi-final.
Well, that's right. You don't want them in the semi-final. You want to get those cobwebs out early.
Now you just got to really stay focused here for this quarter and start converting those layups. Because when they start converting those layups, they get good looks, the game will change dramatically.
Well, that's right. Timeout being called on the floor. Let's see what Manly can come up with. 7 minutes, 46 seconds remaining. Hornsby pretty content at the moment. And I just have to say, it's one of those games where we're just so excited for what's to come. First game of the morning, of the day, in fact. And it's only going to get better and better. We'll go quick to Jacinda for a sponsorship update.
So we were talking about the Sydney Kings before, and it's actually really exciting to announce that Basketball New South Wales will have the continuation of the Sydney Kings HSC program for 2019, which is delivered in partnership with SEDA College and the Sydney Kings. So the program is aimed at years 11 and 12 students, providing them with the opportunity to complete their HSC studies within sport and a community setting. So if anyone out there wants to learn a little bit more, visit visit.sedacollege.newsouthwales.edu, and that sounds like a very exciting opportunity for budding Sydney Kings players out there.
And it does. You never know. You might shake hands with a great man, Andrew Bogut. It may pop up.
He's a great guy. He's a very nice guy as well on and off the court.
He is. You're probably the size of his thigh, but it doesn't matter too much. He's about 7'10".
Yeah, he's huge. And he's just his presence in that team has made a massive difference.
That is an absolute dagger as Sue Prain walks backwards, lets the Manly fans know what she's thinking of them at the moment.
She's on 17 points now for this game. Considering she's been consistently scoring throughout the game, you'd think that Manly would want to lock down her shooting options earlier on, but she's chipped away with 17 points.
And she's done a fine job at it too. The Hornsby Spiders bench jumped up. They're excited.
Unfortunately, Ruby's coming off with 4 fouls.
I mean, look, you got Ruby off, you bring on Matilda. It's a really simple option, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's effective.
right.
It's worked for them all morning.
The advantage of having sisters in a team.
That's for sure.
There's a lot of basketball families. I think that's what I like about Waratah League too, between the Youth League comp and the State League comp and the Champ comp. There's a lot of basketball siblings that you can find. You were mentioning was it the Bolgan family as well?
Bolgan, yeah. Talents, they got Kale, they got Abe in the championship men's side. And they've got faith in this team, so it's a Manly affair here this morning. They've all come out. The whole Bolgan family's come out to support. As Faith takes it hard, fakes it one way, kicks it out. Here comes Castle, take it left-handed layup. Converted, and Manly are just full court pressing now. They know they've got to do something. But Pittman's control on the ball is just simply sensational. She'll find Sue Prain, and they get themselves out of trouble. So Manly need a few deflections. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that was really nice from Hornsby, breaking the press and then just lowering that tempo again to execute in the half.
Fatigue setting in.
Yeah, that's right.
McDonald loses the ball. Careless pass. Here comes Faith. Will just launch it up from the left elbow. Will miss. Who's underneath it? Henderson, the MVP. In and around the basket. Ball's on the floor. Who picks it up? It's a Manly ball. Well, it's starting to become a little bit more physical.
That's right. A little bit more desperation out on the floor.
I'm rubbing my hands. I'm excited.
Oh,
Let's see what happens. Bolgen on Mundine. Great matchup indeed, and she'll finish. That's a tough shot.
That's a great finish. She took advantage of her height advantage over Mundine then. Really smart play.
It's worked out well. Pittman with a carry, so this pressure from Manly is working brilliantly. They've still got a lot to get back. But 6.5 minutes, you never know.
Probably would have liked to have seen that pressure applied a little bit earlier, maybe even in the third, just to lessen that deficit a little bit. But look, let's just see how well they take a run at it. They really need to stop here, though.
Well, that's right, you know, and they were struggling to begin the game. You'd think that'd be the most viable option for Coach Radin. Maybe a little too late, maybe regrets. We'll see how this pans out.
It's just so hard to coach. It looks like he doesn't have an assistant, and coaching without an assistant is really, really difficult.
Well, it is, isn't it? Because you're bouncing ideas off each other.
That's right, and lots of times when you're the head coach, you're so engrossed in things that are happening in one moment, and it's your assistant that will pick up the other things and feed that back to you. So I mean, he's not going to be able to see everything and take care of everything, but he's obviously done a very good job with this Manly side this season.
Oh, he has. You've got to hand it to the coach. Nothing but success. And that's all they're after. As Suprain will launch it from the left elbow, extended three-pointer. Henderson will just take it hard. She'll charge at the basket. And why wouldn't she? Missed layup once again. Pittman puts her body on the line. And you've got to hand it to Pittman, point guard for this Hornsby side. She has been strong on that basketball. She's not the strongest, but she's been content. And that is a tough finish. Falling away from the basket, off the backboard and in.
Wow.
That glass has been very friendly to her.
That is some handles.
And Bolton, right back at ya. 3-point from the top of the arc. Timeout, Hornsby. 55-42. 5 minutes, 21 remaining.
Oh, it's only 13 points. The game is definitely not lost yet for Manly.
It's definitely not lost. That is for sure. And what they're doing at the moment seems to be working quite well for them. And as we get to a timeout, we'll just go to the sponsors because we are just going to wait to see what happens with these two teams.
So we also got to mention that Basketball New South Wales would like to thank their official partners, which includes the New South Wales Office of Sport, of course Spalding, who we've already mentioned, Carney Sports Marketing, which is our official apparel supplier for Basketball New South Wales, the PCYC, Custom College Recruitment, who we mentioned before, if you've got some aspirations to play in college, SCDA College New South Wales, obviously the Sydney Kings, the Sydney Uni Flames and Allied Couriers.
We're expecting big things from both the Flames and the Sydney Kings this season. And on the far court, I think it's court 5, we can see the Shoalhaven Tigers jumping up. We can safely say with that, I think, that they're actually winning, or they're getting back in the hunt. That's another big game on the other court against another Hornsby team.
I think you're right. I think Shoalhaven are winning,
so that's
being Team A.
Yeah, I think that's the Division 2 youth men, I believe.
Oh, good stop from Manly. They've got to convert this.
We'll get back to the action. Shepherd straight away into the swing of things. Back to Manly. 5 minutes to go. We're almost at the halfway point in this fourth quarter. It's do or die. Final tomorrow against Norths or Hills. Just to reiterate. Bolton from the corner misses it. Who's underneath it? Shepherd once again. Now she deserves so much credit, doesn't she? I mean,
that was an excellent conversion. Excellent.
That's
the
fantastic
gutsy
to
stuff
watch.
that we want to see from Manly in these last 5 minutes. That's what they need to do to get back in this and win this game.
We see more of that. That's Pittman now. Going to work the half spin, half turn, and a lovely shot. She's going to be something special.
Oh my gosh.
Her career has only just started. As Mundine with another foul on Henderson.
Credit to Henderson, and she goes to the basket. She knows that she's going on that right side. She's going hard. You can't think you're going to get anything out of it unless you go hard to the basket.
That's right. And in terms of hard to the basket, she's almost like a steam train going right into you, because I would probably just move myself to the left or the right of her and just let her go and see what happens. See if she can miss a layup, but.
Exactly. How many people are going to have the guts to take a charge in front of that?
It's hard work. I mean, it scares me looking at it.
Yeah, only someone as tough as Tyler Mundine. She's put her body on the line and tried to stop Henderson's right-hand drive all game. Credit to Mundine. But you're right. You know, when I'm coaching my 18 Rebels girls, I say you have to go hard, because someone's either going to step out of the way, you have an open layup, or you're going hard enough that someone's going to foul you. So you've got free throws.
Yeah, it's either way, right, isn't it? It's the gutsy effort. It's almost like when you're learning how to take a charge for the first time, and you're scared for your life.
There's probably a couple of daring people like myself who love to take a good charge.
Ah, there you go. There might be some vision of that on YouTube if you're interested.
I don't know if I took any. I may have taken only one this season.
Right.
There were definitely a couple of times where it could have been a charge, but it wasn't called, which is fine. But look, I'll take the bump.
That's
I'm
it.
happy to take the bump.
Happy to take one for the team.
These free throws are crucial for Manly right now.
They are, but you wouldn't think Henderson would miss both. Well, she makes the first one.
So composed.
Composed and steady, and she'll sink the second. And here come Manly. The comeback is on. 57-46. Can we expect to see something magical happen as Pittman just strokes her hair? She knows she's definitely given up the basketball straight back to the Sea Eagles.
Ooh, Manly.
You can sense something.
Oh, that was Manly. Momentum all to you. Nailing 2 free throws, forcing that turnover. Henderson's now on 17 points. They really need to get a bucket here.
And the fans can also sense something because there's a massive turnout watching this game. As Bolgen gets called for an offensive foul. And that looks like a tough call.
Oh, that was really unfortunate. Bolgen did a really good job taking on that mismatch. She had the height advantage over Pittman, and she was on her strong hand. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
That is.
Hopefully Manly can force another turnover here with their press. They're pretty good at pressing, Manly.
They are. And you know what? Whatever the result is at the end of this game, Hornsby can be very proud of themselves. Win, lose. We won't see a draw, but either.
Oh, gosh, look, if we can go into OT, that'd be great as well.
Oh, it would be amazing, wouldn't it? I mean, that's why we're here at the end of the day, for big games.
Tilda.
Misses it. Here comes Bolgen, goes herself. The centre can do it all. Castle will find Henderson. Layup misses, and McDonald with the foul. And you know what? It just, looking at what we're seeing right now with 3.5 minutes remaining, it really is just Henderson taking control of the game.
Yeah, and it's Manly aren't hesitating now. Like, as soon as the ball's turned over and they're on offense, they're just going for it.
They're playing hard and fast.
That's right. That's what you got to do. Take no prisoners.
That's what we like to see.
Ooh, unlucky.
Henderson,
great
second.
rebound.
Fantastic rebound. Even better D from Undine, but she gets caught for a shooting foul.
That's the gutsy plays that we've got to see in this stretch of the court. Henderson's now up to 18 points. Hopefully Castle can knock these two down. Deficit will then be in single digits.
It's a big moment. 2 free throws for Caitlin Castle. She deserves it. After how she's played this game.
Yeah, I really admire her focus and her like sense of urgency that she brings to this team.
That's right. Makes the first, misses the second. Here comes Henderson once again. 3-point play for Manly. Here come the Sea Eagles.
It was almost like they planned that to make the first and then miss the second to get a bucket. That was amazing.
Oh, it was brilliant to watch. Unbelievable. The Sea Eagles have come to play, and the fans know it too.
Manly were almost down by like 17 points. This is a great comeback.
Huge moment for Manly, but the Spiders, thanks to Pittman, will get it to the charity stripe for 2 more.
Now, I think Pittman's only been shooting about 50% from the free throw line this game, so it'll be interesting to see what she can pull out here.
Yeah, it seems to me like the confidence is dropping at the moment for this Spider side.
I think nearly every set of free throws Pittman's had, she's missed the first and made the second.
Well, the unbelievable thing for Hornsby is that no one expected this.
No, you're right.
And, you know, if you ask the players or the coaching staff, they'll say, well, no, we thought we were capable of doing this, pulling something off. A lovely step back from Castle, but a missed finger roll. Well, she created that hesitation brilliantly, just couldn't quite convert into 2 points.
Oh, that was something out of the WNBA. That was a great play, but she has to convert with the left hand on the left-hand side.
Well, what you're seeing here is 2 teams in this youth women's competition that haven't stopped fighting it out for the reward of making it to the grand final tomorrow, as McDonald gets called for an offensive foul.
Oh, she's out of the game. That is a big loss for Hornsby. She's been really, really good for them on the glass and under the basket. Oh, that hurts. 2 minutes 50 to go.
Big game and she's unhappy. Coaching staff's consoling her a little bit, just making sure she's okay.
It's really hard to contain my excitement. I think if I didn't have a microphone on, I'd be screaming a little bit more. This is crunch time finals basketball.
This is where it's at. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. First game of the day, many more to come. Stay tuned. Henderson gets blocked by McDonald. That's a big play as Mundine cleans it up. On the floor we go.
Super sub. Great block by McDonald.
Off to Sue Prain. Well, they just want to hold the ball. That's Pittman's job now, just to hold it.
That's it. Just use the clock. Use the clock. No, you don't need a rush.
Be smart about it. Sue Prain just says, give it to me. I'm just going to throw it up. Don't know if that was the right play. We'll have to see. As I said, you can watch all the games live stream on the Basketball New South Wales Facebook page. A lot of action to come. Quarter 3. This is a big moment for Manly.
Wish that went
Can't make it.
That was a great offensive set by Manly. They were really patient and found that open 3. It's just too bad they couldn't convert. You really need to stop here, Manly. Can't afford to foul.
Castle playing up high. She knows they need to steal the ball off Pittman. There's not long to go. Pittman will just drive it, go herself. Throws it up. Not to be. And here comes Manly. 2 open players down the court. Castle from the block will sink it. And Manly, again, 6 points down, 1:31 remaining. They've got themselves back in the hunt. This will be something else. Can they pull up a brilliant play? 8-second violation. And the Manly fans are up. They're standing, they're cheering on their team.
Great
And
stop.
what we've just seen the last 6 minutes has been nothing but self-determination and effort.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That Manly team is very focused this quarter, especially on the defensive end and their press. Their press really is really working very well for them, picking up that violation in the backcourt, forcing some turnovers. But Hornsby got the 6-point lead, which is still pretty comfortable in this situation, but they have to make sure that they're composed. Stay composed for just another 1:24.
And 1:24 is a long time in this game.
Long time.
We can safely say that. And how this game's been going, we want overtime. Let's start a chant, Jacinta.
Ooh.
We want overtime.
Overtime.
We'll talk about that soon. Here we go. Here comes Cork.
I just noticed Henderson on that drive, just pulling up and pulling up at her knee after that drive. So she must be hurting a little bit.
She's been in agony, and that's right, because she is strapped. But the MVP plays hard. McDonald, and she's looking at her knee. She's in pain.
Yeah, I mean...
She's looking to stretch it.
Gutsy play to force that turnover, but she immediately pulled at that knee again.
Well, they need her on, and she's tough as nails.
She's got to hang in there for the last minute.
56 seconds to go. 55. The countdown is on. Henderson from the right elbow, and that is just extraordinary from the MVP. She's limping. She's in a lot of pain. 4 points down. She's sucking in the big ones. And what we've just seen from her this game is exactly why she's got the big gong, because...
Knee or no knee, she's racked up 22 points.
You could cut off half her leg and she'd still be all right on one leg, I reckon.
And that would still be 11 points. Like,
11
it's still
points.
a big contribution. But I think that's also something that I really, really enjoy about watching and playing basketball in games like this. It's that courage that you see from big-time players like Henderson, or even like the players like your Ruby McDonalds who have really stepped up in this game. It's that kind of courage. Everyone, like I said, same skill set, same experience. It's who's going to carry the team on their back to get them over the line in finals time. 4 points. This was almost a 20-point deficit. It's only 4 points.
Just simply incredible. I mean, we've seen so many games throughout the year where you've just seen it. You've just caught it. You've seen it. Down by a lot, come back in it. Down by a lot, come back into it. And we've seen that on a number of weeks.
They're attracting a really healthy crowd here for the last 49 seconds. I can see Sherry from the Hills Youth League women's team watching on the sideline. So their game's obviously over. She may be trying to see who she would potentially be matching up in the finals. I'm not too sure who won the other semi-final.
Well, I'm trying to look at their faces and just get a little bit of a guess as to what happened.
Well, the whole Hills team's there. Looks Some of them are smiling. I'm going to guess that they probably
I would say
won.
so, yeah. I can't see the North team around here, so
that's right.
I would assume that Hills won that game, so we'll have to check that. If you want the results, you know where to find it.
I can see the champ men's, the champ women coach of the year, Tom Garlop, in the background, actually.
Tommy Garlett, one of the great Sydney Kings players and NBL players for that matter. Great guy as well. Inbound for Hornsby, 48 seconds to go, 4-point game, it's exciting. Tommy Garlop's excited, which means we're even more excited to bring you all the action as Mundine touches the ball. Off it goes to Manly. And Hornsby have basically dismantled themselves.
Oh, that is a big turnover. And you know what else? That was only 3 seconds off the game clock. Now we see the situation where Manly's got the 2-for-1. 46 seconds to go. They've got 2 offensive possessions.
And they'll go to the line for 2. Faith Bolgen. Well, these are clutch. I've never seen anything like it. This is what you practice for. When you shoot free throws at training, this is it.
Exactly. I tell my team all the time, free throws wins games. Always.
So when we talk about success, Central Coast might be the answer. Under 18s team misses the first. Faith not quite happy. Still in high spirits.
I wouldn't go that far. My 18s free throws record isn't very good. There've been a number of games where we've lost by 10 and we've probably missed 14 free throws.
It's not great.
No.
Bolgen misses 2. Clutch free throws. He missed. Pittman picks up the ball. Foul, which needed to be done by Lauren Walker.
Still lots of game time here. Pittman makes these 2 and Manly get the ball back. They've still got an opportunity potentially for a 2-for-1, but all depends whether she's going to make these free throws. Again, she's been shooting 50%, missing the first, making the second.
Needed something. Pittman hits the first. That's a big play. 5-point game. She hits the second. It's huge. Huge for Hornsby. Huge for their grand final aspirations. And she misses it. Here comes Henderson. Will she go herself? Castle. Stuck in her tracks. Shot fake brings in. Mundine picks it up. 24 to go. Hornsby, can they see themselves winning this game, causing a huge upset in Youth League Women Division 1? Cork, straight away to Suprain. They'll just hold the ball. Pittman to Mundine.
Ooh, it looks like there's only 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Oh my goodness. Fouled off as well, Castle. She's had an outstanding game.
She really has. She's been everywhere, Castle. 7 seconds to go. It's not over yet. I would say the over Mundine missed, but she hits it.
Mundine.
And we're going to wrap up all the action here after this game, no matter what happens.
Making those free throws in her sleep, Mundine. Woo! 10 points for her this game. And a great defensive effort because she's had to mark Henderson most of the game.
It's mammoth, isn't it? I mean, what we've just seen now from the Spiders is just huge. They're in high spirits. They think they've won it. Manly look a bit nervous, but this time out, they need a quick 3. It's fair to say.
They do. Keep their hopes alive with a quick 3, and it's smart that they've called a timeout because they should get the ball from the sideline rather than the baseline after the free throws, which is definitely in their favour because then they don't have to waste so much time getting the ball up the court, or they're not in any kind of threatening position where Hornsby can pressure up in the full court to waste some time. So it'll be interesting to see what Manly come out with here.
This is what it's all about. And you can just see how much it means to Hornsby if they were to get this victory. It is huge for them, huge for the association. And sometimes that's just what finals basketball is all about. It doesn't matter where you come on the ladder. It's a completely different ballgame.
Oh, absolutely. And look, chips are down for Hornsby. They've come out as the underdog, being the 4th place team. And like you said, finals basketball is very different from the round games. Do or die.
Do or die clash. Will the Spiders be facing what looks to be Hills in the grand finale? A bit of a local derby. Let's see what Manly can do.
So they stay composed.
Back in the action, inbound play. Quick ball, straight away to Lauren Walker. They'll just have to pull it up. Faith Bolgen with a massive 3. 3 seconds to go. Huge board by McDonald. Upset is complete. You can see how much it means to Hornsby. Celebrations galore. What a win from the Spiders.
Wow.
What a finish. It doesn't get much bigger than that. Fourth place upsets first without Serena Waters. They're all friends off the court. You can see them hugging each other, and that was one of the best games of basketball we could possibly see all year.
Wow, I need to go for a jog after that. I'm so pumped up after watching such a thriller of a game.
Oh, it was remarkable. What a finish. The Hornsby Spiders played well from start to end. We love what we just saw, and again, just recapping the score, 61-54.
Yeah, top scorers being Henderson for the Manly with 22, and it looks like that Suprain for the Hornsby Spiders, number 10, has finished with 17 points, and Pittman's and from Hornsby's also ended up with 11.
So congratulations to Hornsby. Just to finish up, before we go, just letting you know who's on court now. We've got Penrith versus Manly in the Youth Men's Division 1 competition. You can see that with Curtis Sardi, who'll be the commentator, and Tim Wheely, who'll be the co-commentator for that game. They'll bring you all the action. Jacinta, thanks for joining me. You were outstanding. What a game to call.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great game. If all the games are going to be like this all weekend, sign me up.
I don't have to sleep here tonight and just soak up what we've actually just witnessed tonight. So, again, a lot more action to go. You can catch all the games live stream on the Facebook page for Basketball New South Wales. I'll be taking you through a game very soon with Maria Nordstrom. We've got Central Coast versus Newcastle in the Youth Men's Division 1 comp as well. So I'll take you through all the action for that game. So we'll chat to you soon. Enjoy the festivities, enjoy your day out, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you later.
See you later.